you started.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Get Lifted. 30 is the new 20. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time the posts are go live. I'm Heffa.
Smiley Drizzle was good here. It's a lot of stuff going on. I be feeling like chicken with my head cut off. That's an old saying my grandmother used to say. I guess that's just life. Like, you know, when you get to a certain age, I find myself telling my staff at my job that a lot. It's like, yo, we get to a certain age, you just gotta grow up. You just gotta like accept these responsibilities that come with becoming an adult, right?
Life just be life.
How was your weekend? What you had going on this weekend?
Move that battery, give me that. I didn't do anything. I was just watching how to get away with murder. Well, I already seen it, but I watched it. And I read some of the chapters of that book, 100 Ways to Create Wealth. I think that's the book that you
Yeah, that's a good read. It's a lot of good books for business mindset, self help, whatever. I read one book, and the book told me that most business people or successful people read about 30 books a year. Some people would say that's a lot because, like, how could you read like 30 books a year? Some people would say it's not.
It depends on how long the book is, how fast you read. If it's an audio book, you can do that you can listen to it while you're doing other stuff, like if you're working out or if you're working, depending on what kind of job you do. So that's the convenience of audio books. But if you're reading it yourself, like a paperback or a hardcover book, if you read fast, then it just depends on people. Slow there.
Yeah, I started writing a book. I was gonna talk about it before because whenever I start something, I gotta like do all the research and figure out how to be how to be great at it. Like if I start doing something, I don't want to just be like um, not even mediocre, but I don't want to be like just like a normal person at something. Like I want to be like really good at it or one of the greatest people at it. And it's not really easy to do that, but I like to challenge myself. So if I start something, I want to do what I would consider to be one of the higher levels of achieving that particular thing, which is hard, but you know that's what I want to do. So I was reading a lot of stuff about um, writing books, what a good book sounds like, what a good book looks like, and yeah, just I just really I want to try something different, you know. And one of my biggest things is investing in yourself. Like that's really like a really big thing for me. So when I think about that, I'm just thinking about just really trying to do things that I think could potentially put me in a better position in life. You know what I mean? It's not Need a cap. Or you put the chair back there. Sorry about that. Just basically, just investing in yourself in many different ways in life. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's important to try different things, not limit yourself. But you don't want to burn yourself out, so you gotta figure out what's the best thing for you to do individually that won't be so stressful that you can implement in your regular life. You know what I mean? If you're doing other things, this is something that could potentially put probably more money in your pocket, or set you up better in life in the future for your legacy and all that. And I find myself now, I guess the girl that I talk to, she like kind of notices that. But I mean, I kind of been like this before. It's not a new thing, but when you with somebody, they notice certain things about you changes and all that. And I'm just more like laser focused on positioning myself, better. I work out every day. I'm really paying attention to what I'm putting in my body as far as food. I don't really watch a lot of bullshit anymore. Like, I watch movies, I watch a lot of movies. I watch horror movies and shit like that. But I really try to watch stuff that I'm gonna learn from. I like debates. Obviously, we on the show, we talk about a lot of shit that we might not agree on. But I like watching debates from professionals. I find myself watching like debates from like 1967, 1940 something. I was gonna watch a debate between some people, if y'all follow me, I might know, C.S. Lewis and Freud, Sigmund Freud. They had a debate on whether or not God is real. And there was a movie that came out, I think either 23 or 24. If you like shit like that, like intellectual shit, this is drama. You might not want to sit there and watch that, but if you like that kind of stuff, I would implore you to check it out. It'll be a good watch for you. And you'll learn some shit that you probably didn't know, or open your mind to another perspective. Kind of to piggyback off of that, I watched a debate between an atheist and 20 Christians, right? So he had a lot of questions that he was asking, like they never said in the Bible that Jesus was God. That's just something that Christians say. Very controversial. So if you're a religious person and you really like deep to the core religious, you might not like the debates. But if you have an open mind, give it check it out. It's one of those debates on Jubilee where they have a lot of debates. But that was interesting. I'm not gonna really talk about that all day because it's Sunday, the day the Lord have made. I don't want to be blasphemous. But I just have a different perspective. I wouldn't really consider myself an atheist per se. You know what I mean? With my opinion, I would just consider myself a person that I probably just seek the truth more than others. I'm not gonna settle for faith. That's just me. You know what I mean? And I respect everybody's denomination, regardless what you believe. But the first topic, let's just get right into it. So the question is, I was looking on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, sorry. On Instagram, and I seen a post that said, "Is marriage for white people? Like, is it just exclusive?"
Well, it's a book. there's a book by Ralph Richard Banks, and that's the title, is Marriage for White People, How the African American Marriage
Tell us about
affects everyone. And I haven't read it. Someone on Clubhouse.
What's this? I'm like, that's a new lighter? Lip gloss lighter and shit?
My bad.
Some CIA
I gotta
shit.
give it. It's about, so somebody on Clubhouse was saying it's a good read if you haven't read it, check it out. And I still haven't read it yet, but I am gonna check it out or whatever. They don't have it an audio book though. You can get it online, but you gotta read it yourself. And it examines declining marriage rates amongst African Americans, particularly the middle class, analyzing social and economic factors affecting Black women's marriage prospects and its broader societal implications.
That's
So,
interesting.
It's basically saying that it's because of the statistics and how everything is going that it's more beneficial for white women than it is the way the stats are looking than for Black people because of the way socioeconomic standard or the way life is. And also, some people talked about it and they said a lot of Black women are carrying the men in the relationship, and this is why. And in some cases that could be, I don't know if that's the 100%, but it shows that there are statistics that show that white women are twice as likely to get married than Black women. But yeah, I didn't read it, but it posed an interesting question. Do you believe that marriage is only for white people? And if yes, why? And if no, why?
I watched a documentary over the weekend, because that's what I was doing this whole weekend. Like I said, I was educating myself on many different things. Some of the stuff we gonna talk about, and just trying to expand my mind, period. One of the documentaries that I watched was called Welfare Over Fathers. Welfare Over Fathers.
You were talking about that on Clubhouse too.
This documentary came out in 1967.
No, not the documentary.
No, I'm talking. I'm answering your question with what I learned, right? So the documentary came out in 1967. So already, right? Because we got this idea, we don't want to have this victim mindset and all that other stuff, right? So right now, 2025, the conversation is about a book. Because I didn't know it was a book. I just thought it was like a meme. But it's Marriage for White People. So I watched the documentary, and in 1967, there was a documentary that came out called Welfare Over Fathers. It's interesting. Now, who do you think in 1967, who do you think was the predominant focus in this documentary? That's just one question. Who do you think?
White people.
No. No, why would you think that? We're talking about, is marriage only for white people? And in 1967, hold on, 1967, documentary says welfare over fathers. I asked you, who do you think that documentary was predominantly focused on? And you said white people. Black people. Let me just put it out there. Let me just answer for you. Black people. Just to get to the meat and potatoes of it. So obviously they focused, and this was in Cleveland, where I guess the focus of this was, and it started off with, and this is interesting. It's interesting that I don't know like how I even started watching it, right? But it's interesting how this is a new well, not a new thing, because
This book is old too.
It's been something that's been going on for a very long time in our particular culture. And it's one of those things that we sweep under the rug and we just tell people, don't be a victim. Fix your situation. Do whatever you got to do. When it's been incentivized since, because this documentary came out in 1967, I'm going to say since the 60s, to champion single motherhood in our culture specifically, because the predominant focus for this impact was for the black community. So let's talk about that, and let's really not really try to pussyfoot around it and just be like, all right, fuck it. The game is rigged for black people, and it always has been. So before we judge black people, because I don't even really want to read the book, to be honest, because I already know, like, this is stuff that we already talk about, and people always, especially black people, they always dismiss it and say, well, that's not, they're doing this and they want to do OnlyFans and they want to, whatever, and we always quick to judge our own people, but identifying what the government has set in place to kind of fuck us over. So, yeah, it's a victim fucking situation that the government has created to fucking kind of throw us into. So they kind of like put us in a bog full of quicksand. We just trying to reach ourselves out. There's no vine, there's no tree, there's nothing to grab onto, and we just like, fuck it. The dudes is like, well, they acting more like bitches because women don't want to deal with them. One of the women in the documentary said, well, my baby father wants to marry me, but he can't help take care of our kids, so what's the point of me marrying him? That was her mentality in 1967 in Cleveland. A black woman, mother of fucking 5 kids, bro. Mother of 5 kids, that was her mentality. This is when people used to go to get their food stamps. They'll spend $120 something on food stamps, but get 180 food stamps or something like that. Get twice as much, but they can only use it for food. Sometimes they'll sell it. Whatever. Same shit that's going on today. But it's perpetual. And while I'm watching this, in the beginning of the documentary, Martin Luther King gets up there, and one of the comments that Martin Luther King made, shout out to Martin Luther King, he says, welfare is a wicked system. And my mother was hearing it when I was watching it. So she's like, who is that? And I'm like, that's Martin Luther King. She was like, when did he say that? I was like, this is a documentary from 1967. This is old. And she was like, he said that? Why is that? And I'm like, you don't think it is? Why you don't think it is? Like, well, it helps people. I'm like, it also enables people. Like it's supposed to be. Some of the things that people are saying is they want to inspire their kids to not have to succumb to that struggle and to live outside of that. But that's all you see. That's the only thing that you reflect in your upbringing. So you don't know how to get yourself out of that rut. That's why I said it's the quicksand, and you can't fucking pull yourself out. And that's what we're in. Over fucking 50 years of going through this, and it's still happening, and we acting like it doesn't exist because there's the internet, because you got ChatGPT and you got Google, yeah, but you still got redlining, people that's not supposed to do it, but they do it. You know what I mean? You still got people that credit is fucked up from generations of just never getting a break, never getting the right opportunity, never knowing how to set yourself up in a certain way. And then you got decades of people that didn't know and they couldn't teach their kids that, and they don't teach you that in school. So when people have to go online and find this information out, it's not hard to do it. Matter of fact, if you check in our description, there's a lot of fucking shit you can do to make money. But honestly, people not looking at it that way. People just like, yo, oh, I could do this. If I could do it, you could do it. But it's not that simple. It's like we 2 steps forward but 10 steps back in our culture specifically. So when they say is marriage only for white people, I'm gonna say no, but I'm gonna say it's incentivized for black people not to get married because it perpetuates a failure of our culture. And who wouldn't want that? If you want to destroy people, then you figure out a way to do it from within.
Yeah, we would talk about that on Clubhouse. The topic was, and I like this room because he don't allow the ratchet stuff, the back and forth. It would be real deep topics and talking about life and bettering yourself. The guy.
I gotta like this. We about to get deep. But yeah, man, I mean, Clubhouse do be having some good topics. They be cooking up there, man. They definitely be cooking.
So yeah, his name is Drewby, and check out his YouTube. He got a show called Creep Street. He got 5 episodes out or whatever. But he's someone that, you know, he went through struggles in life. I believe he did time before or whatever, but he got out now, or he got out eventually, and he got himself together, and now he speaks, you know, that he follows the Lord and everything, and he trying to do right. I mean, he not to the extent of like, you know, he don't curse and stuff like that. He still, you know, but he living a different way because he had to realize that the way that he was living was not right or whatever. But he be having he has a room on Thursdays where he talk about different topics, and the question, it's called Love and R&B, so it's mostly about relationships. So the question was, I believe it was, do black women, are they the reason for the downfall of relationships in the black community? And that was the topic. So just so people could discuss that, yes or no, and why you feel that way. And then, you know, my answer was, to a degree, yes, because certain things because we're talking about women, black men do whatever they do too, but the topic was about women. So I said yes to an extent because of the way they could talk to a man, they could put him down, and certain things that I've witnessed that a lot of black women do, and it's not all of them, but it happens. Like, they put him down and talk to him a certain way. They might tell him he ain't gonna be nothing, might call him a bitch, disrespectful. They don't respect the man. They get mad if something happens within their romantic relationship, and then they break up and take the kid away from their father and things like that. But then someone else came in there and they brought up the welfare system, and they were like, no, black women are not the reason. Well, he got cut out, but I knew what he was talking about, so I finished it. He was basically saying what you said about the welfare system was put in place to keep us down. You couldn't have a father in the home if you were getting that. That was one of the criteria that you had to meet. Like, if the father was in the home, then you didn't qualify to get assistance. So a lot of people were either hiding it if the father was there or whatever. They were acting like he wasn't just so they could get assistance, or they chose welfare over the man, and then it became, I don't need a man because the government is helping me take care of my kids and helping me take care of myself or whatever. But the problem with that is you can only get to a certain point. So with that, because if you make over a certain amount, you no longer qualify for those benefits going forward in the current, in modern times or whatever. I don't know exactly how it was back then, but if you make over a certain income, or as your income increases, they raise your rent, or you lower your assistance, or whatever type of form of assistance you're getting. If you're getting food stamps, they'll lower the amount, and eventually if you make over a certain income, they remove you from the program. The same thing with Section 8. If they're paying half of your rent and then you start making more money, then they start to pay less, until eventually if you reach a point, then they'll take it off completely. They'll warn you beforehand or whatever. But every time you find a new job, you gotta report to them. Every time your income changes, you gotta report to them. If someone's living with you and they're working, you have to report that. They can even say you owe them money if you didn't report that you got a new job or an extra job within a certain time frame. They can then say, oh, you didn't notify us of it, although they can find out on their own. They have your social security number or whatever. But once they do find out you didn't let them know, then they'll say that you owe them money because they're saying it's fraud because you were making a certain amount and we didn't know, so you shouldn't have been getting this amount paid or anything at all. So it's like, for me personally, because I know it's a system put in place to keep black people down, I never wanted it. So I always tried to work hard enough so that I wouldn't even need it. I have gotten food stamps in the past before, but currently I don't have them, and I'm able to pay my bills and do everything that I need to without needing that assistance. But if I would prefer a man be with me, whether he's making 50-50 more than me or less, because that's still an extra income and it's coming from somebody that I love and a man that I want to share my life with, and he's gonna protect me instead of a stranger that doesn't have my best interest or whatever. And I think there are some women that are choosing that, and they are saying I don't need a man because I can, or they'll just work and they make a certain amount themselves, even if they're not getting assistance, and they feel like I could take care of myself, so I don't need a man because I'm getting everything I need. But that is a problem. So my answer to that is, do women contribute, black women contribute to the downfall of relationships? Absolutely. Because of this narrative or this mindset that you don't need a man. Because if you have children, you definitely need a man. Your kids need a man because they need a father. That's why it took the two of you to create it. And you know, that's a dangerous mindset to have, because we're already a minority, and with people, either people are choosing not to have kids now, which I don't think you should just be having it with anybody. If you can prepare for it and try to plan it out and find the right person or whatever, or at least you should be able to co-parent if it doesn't work out, and people can't do that. Like I said, the woman will get mad in a lot of cases. So let's say the man cheated on her or whatever, she'll get mad because he did that, and now he can't see his kids, even if he wants to be there. And that's messed up, because if a man, there are men that they wasn't even there, they left before the woman even gave birth. So if a man wants to be there and he's a good man, he's not putting your child in danger or causing any harm to them, then why would you take him away from your child because you're in your feelings that have nothing to do with the child? That's a separate relationship. And that's not fair to the child. You're being selfish because you're only thinking about your needs and not what's best for you. When you have a child, it's no longer about you. And I think that's why some people aren't having kids, because they're selfish. They don't want to be responsible for another person. But that's, like I said, a dangerous mindset to have if you want to continue this life going on. You know, continue the black population.
So I'm gonna have like kind of like a loaded response to this, because I feel like women are victims. I'm gonna tell you why in this situation. Me and my boy was having a discussion yesterday, and we're talking about there's a very small percentage, single digit probably, of people that won't take an offer that they call it an offer you can't refuse for a reason. Out of desperation, like when I was watching this documentary, like, she's got 5 kids, he don't got no job, or he don't make enough money to support all of his kids, and she's like, I know he could work harder, I'm gonna wait until he works harder, and then next year, hopefully we get married. That's what I'm looking forward to, but we don't have enough money. Marriage costs money and all that. I mean, the marriage, you could get a, justice of peace thing, whatever. But some women want they want the family there, they want the church, they want all that. I mean, that could run you 15,000, you know what I mean? So if you want to do that route, you know what I mean, thinking about it, it's like it could be very expensive, right? So then when you're thinking about the expenses that you have to put up from being married to somebody, it's like, then when you get back to that question, okay, well, is it for white people? Well, think about it. We're the less privileged individuals, and we make up a smaller amount of the U.S. population. We don't get a lot of offers, and a lot of our population is convicted of crimes most exonerated also, but still convicted of crimes, and that puts like a stronghold in the household. You know what I mean? Now you really can't take care of your family. You can't have that nuclear family, that that full house type of situation. You can't have that because the government set you up. The game is rigged for our culture. So with that being said, I can't entirely just blame women. I look at them like, please forgive them for they know not what they do type of shit. Because they're gonna take the situation is that they're gonna take this little handout, but it's gonna hurt them, like you said, in the long run. They're not looking at it that way because they want the instant gratification, which is what most people take that's in a desperate situation. You fucked up, you're gonna take the latter. You're gonna take whatever you can to get out of whatever situation you in. So out of desperation, can you really necessarily blame somebody for picking a choice that's gonna help them in the situation? So what I would say is like, yeah, do I disagree with welfare altogether? Yeah, because it's a system that was created to enable people. Like they don't have any desire to make people, put people in a position to get better off of welfare. They want you to be dependent on that shit. So it's like, if it's not trying to help you get better, it's really trying to leave you in a state. And sometimes, people do encourage people to try to get jobs, and they give them vocational training and shit like that. But they don't really be giving them no thorough jobs. These people don't got no skills. Like, they not training them. Like, if you're gonna really do this shit, train them there and get them prepared for the corporate world. You know what I mean? That would be a little bit better. And I'm not saying I necessarily agree with handouts. Work hard for what you want. But when we think about women, it's our job to protect the women. So if I'm supposed to protect them, then I don't expect them to work as hard as I have to work. You understand what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from with it. Like I know what you're saying. I know, like, we want to blame men, we want to blame women, but for our culture is flawed, bro. Like we're kind of royally fucked. But there are some people that want to work hard. There are some people that want to do better. You know what I mean? There's that reach one, teach one. We still got crabs in the barrel. We don't try to uplift each other. You know what I mean? I see a lot of people that I know doing great shit. One of my boys just bought a bar. You know what I mean? Shout out to Weed's Cafe on Dixwell Avenue. You know what I mean? And he doing his shit. You know what I mean? And he not that old. He not even in his 40s. And he already got his eyes on the prize. He focused on trying to move forward with life. It's inspiring. It's not like he the only one that could do it. Mind you, he had a mother and a father. He grew up in a loving home. They had the village and all of that other stuff. He had a lot of, good shoes to fill. He had a lot of good examples to look up to. So when you see people like him doing it, you be like, oh, it's not that bad. But you gotta also understand the dynamic. He didn't grow up like some of these kids that got the single mother on welfare. You understand what I'm saying? His father was a fucking alderman. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same thing. Versus, and not to talk about my life, but if I had a father that was in the penitentiary, you know what I mean? Versus him having a father that's an alderman. Two different lifestyles, two different upbringings, different eras also, right? And a different mindset. Like, yeah, I grind, I work hard, but I had a lot of other disadvantages that prevented me from getting to my goal. You know what I mean? So I can't necessarily look down on the other people that are struggling because they didn't figure out what I figured out. It's just a lot of distractions sometimes. You know what I mean? And when you come from the era that I grew up in, cognitively, you know what I mean, aware, you know what I mean? So not at like an age where neurologically I'm not able to really grasp everything that's going on around me. I'm talking like, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you know what I mean? Growing up in that period of time, at that age, you could see vividly what the fuck is going on around you. And I was very aware, even at an early age. Like, you know, in my book, I'm gonna tell y'all, like, at an early age, I knew what was right, I knew what was wrong, I was doing shit I shouldn't have did. And now I look at things a lot differently, and I understand these are some of the reasons why I would never leave my family fucked over. I wouldn't allow my family to have to be in welfare, and encourage my partner to understand, yo, we don't need to do this. I'm gonna work hard. We're not gonna have to have no situation like this. But I have to have that drive, plus the distractions that's coming at us, and all the other shit that I gotta worry about, and still be able to do it. It's not an easy task, but nobody said it was gonna be easy. But it's just fucked up that it's harder for us than it is for other people. And a lot of people don't acknowledge that. Some people say, well, I know it's hard, and they haven't done it. It's different when you do it and you know it's hard, and different when you telling people that they gotta do it and they know it's hard. But when you doing it and it's hard, and you telling people, yeah, this shit, it's not for everybody. Like, I was in the military. It's not for everybody. I definitely will tell motherfuckers like, yo, you can't be in the military. And I'll keep it 110% funky with them, because I was in that situation. If I grew up with somebody and I know them, like, it's different when, like, you push somebody. If I push somebody and I push them so hard, and I push them to a point, and then they're like, they give up. Okay, imagine a person like that. You know a person like that, and then they're in a situation where you can't just give up. It's bullets flying on top of you. You can't just be like, oh, I quit, I'm gonna go backwards. No, nigga, you gotta keep going forward. You can't do that. So yeah, I know some people can't do it, and a lot of middle bits will be bad. Like, shit, what you think? Why you think I can't do it? Cause nigga, you not hard as me. Pause. You can't move the way that I move. You don't think the way that I move. You scared. You scary. Like you gotta have heart. You know what I mean? Everybody not born with that shit. You gotta build that shit. It comes with going through certain adversities in your life, and that's where you get there. But like, I can't really necessarily fault women for the fail of marriage in the black community, but our system is definitely rigged. But I see that they're incentivized to make these choices, and you can't blame them, because what's the alternative? Stay with a struggling ass nigga until he get his shit together? Like, that's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say they're
or settle for a nigga.
But I did make that clear when I said I don't think they're 100% of the reason why, but they are a contributing factor, and I gave.
It's a contributing factor because of the system that they're put in. So the system is set up for them to take that decision, because the alternative is worse.
That's one reason, and respect.
That's the main reason since 1967.
And respecting their man.
You get to that point. It's all, right, that's your opinion, but my part was different. So I didn't say the same thing that you said, if that's how you feel, because like I said, this has been in place since we've gotten our civil rights.
We're just explaining why. We know why. We discussed that.
Do we? Do we know why? Because again, my point is that no, because again, this is how I feel. You can't blame a person for being in a situation where there's no other way out other than taking this situation. Like, you got one way in and one way out. The other way out, you don't want to go back that way, because that's going backwards. Going forward is at least getting yourself a decent enough situation for you to have a roof over the people in your house head. But if he can't help contribute to the rent, then you gotta find a nigga that can help you contribute to the rent. Some women don't want to settle for a dude that they don't think is good enough for them. Like, this nigga could be an MIT graduate and be on point and be the smartest nigga in the world. But it don't matter, because he gotta be fly, he gotta be fresh, he gotta be certain height. This might not be for you, but that's the other choice. So if you're not choosing that choice, and that's really your only alternative to win, or you just stick with the nigga and wait. And a lot of people, like, let's be honest. Why would you stick with somebody and wait and be in a fucked up situation for a period of time? I can't blame them for that. That's what I'm saying. So when you're saying, well, you kind of agree. No, I'm saying that the system is set up a way for them to make this choice. So it's not their fault.
You say yes, and because this is.
But that's what I'm saying, and that's why I said so. Technically, it's
why.
not. So technically, no, I can't. I don't blame them.
They play a role. The government plays a role.
But the government plays the role first. That's how it happens. It's chess, not checkers. So they started this shit, and now they're in a situation where they're continuing to perpetuate the narrative that they created since however long ago. But we're not acknowledging that. At this point, we're saying that it's a negative. They can't be a victim because da 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 da. But okay, the first problem is getting pregnant by a nigga that has no intention of doing what he's supposed to do in the first place. So that could be a situation. But then leaving the situation or not marrying a nigga or not being in a situation for a nigga to want to marry you is justified because the game is rigged for us. That's just how I land my plane. So I don't agree that it's their fault. I think that the system is set up to make them make a choice that they have no choice but to make.
Yeah, my opinion is that everybody plays has a contributing factor in the downfall. It's not just women in their role. It's the things that I listen. I respecting the man, and yeah, you don't have to stay with nobody that's not doing nothing, but you should have got one of them in the first place if you felt that way because you knew what you wanted or whatever. And the men not getting their stuff together too. That's their part. And I'm talking about what we can control. So you can, that's why I said, if you have a kid, everybody don't do that. But if you wanting to have children, you should think about that before. Are you in a position where you can even take care of yourself? If you can't do that, then you shouldn't be bringing another life in this world that you have to be responsible for. Like, and some people don't think it through. And, and there's precaution that you need to take so that you're not getting pregnant with people that you can't do life with. Because if you really cared about that person, not saying the broke people, the one that's wanting to work and doing something with themselves, if you really cared, then you would rather have them there than a stranger that you don't know paying your bills or whatever. So, like, even the hiding, like, to some people hiding when they do the inspections, they'll make them leave and make it seem like they don't live there. But if they find out, they're going to take that away. Because if they find out and check their income, and you're making too much jointly, then you're gonna get kicked off of it, and you might have to owe them money back or whatever. So in the end, it's not beneficial to you. That's all I'm saying. Like, we know what happened, but now we gotta do something about it. And nowadays, there's really no excuse. Like, we have the internet, everything has technology, and everything has advanced so far in these modern times that anything that you need or any information that you need to, if you're trying to get to a point, it's at the click of a button. And nobody said it had to be done by tomorrow. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a process. But you got to create a list of goals. Step one, if you want to get somewhere, figure out a list of steps that could get you there and implement that plan. That's the only way you got to push yourself. Like, but some people just accept it, and that's when it becomes like, I think if you do take government assistance, at this point it should be like a stepping stone. If you do need it just to get on your feet, but your goal should be to make enough money so that at some point you no longer qualify for those benefits and more. That you should want to have the idea that you want to leave something to your children. If it's just you and you don't want to have no kids, that's fine. But you don't want, if you struggle growing up, you should try to do everything in your power and have the mindset in these times to give them what you didn't have. And not just financial things or material things, but knowledge to how to maintain those things and the necessities of life when you're no longer there. Even if you don't leave them something tangible, give them the tools to be able to at least have life insurance so you can pay for your funeral and they don't have to come out of pocket or something, or have a portion or something, even if you can't leave them a home or leave them a business or something, so they don't have to be, helping you. I mean, people gonna do it, cause yeah, you know. But these are the thoughts that people should think about in these times. It was different before, but we've elevated to a point to where, and it's not gonna be 100% of the people, but I think most people have access to the internet. You're on the internet most of the day or whatever, and you're on social media. Take an hour of your day. I started reading that book, and they said you could start slow. Take an hour of your day to do something constructive with your life, like whether it's reading or exercising or looking for a job, filling out applications, or creating your brand if you want to be a content creator, or you know, something like that. Something that's going to lead you to the path that you want to be on if you're not already on it, or you haven't already reached your level of success that you're striving for. Like an hour, that'll go by quick. You don't, and then you could do what you want for the rest of the day. And once you start progressing in that, you're going to be incentivized to want to continue it. But you got to start somewhere.
So, Kentucky just passed a law. They're gonna give 50-50 custodial rights in divorces. So when they made that law,
In 2018, I think.
yeah, there was actually a 25% decrease in the divorce rate in Kentucky. That's crazy.
And I think that's the reason why for that is a lot of, well, this may be, and this is what people are speculating, but you really have no proof to determine that that's the reason why. But people think that the reason why is because women are no longer incentivized to get a divorce, so they're staying together. Because before it would automatically go to the mom, typically, well, depending on what state you are, the custody of the child will automatically go to the mom. And then they had to go to court if they wanted to get joint custody. And 50-50 don't necessarily mean that it's like half the week. It's probably gonna be weekends to start for the father. It still ain't really 50-50. Like the breakdown of it, you gotta negotiate that shit and how often you actually wanna, if you wanna be with one parent 3.5 days and 3.5 days with the other parent or something like that, or if you want to stay a couple months over there and then the next couple months or whatever, you got to negotiate all those details. But when you get a divorce, women are getting money and they're getting child support, and they know, especially if the dude got bread, they know they think they're gonna be taken care of. So it's like, at least if I don't got you, your physical presence, you're gonna still be taking care of me to a certain degree. And a lot of women don't be spending the child support just on the child, if at all. They be getting their nails done, getting their hair done. It's called child support, not mother support. You should make enough on your own to be able to do your part. I feel like it should be, ideally, and everybody's not gonna be like that, but it should be like, if y'all split up, the mom, she live at wherever y'all was living at, she probably gonna stay there. The guy should have his own place and get a room for it, but then they don't consider the regular people that are not making that kind of money. The guy got to start all over. Like I said, the mom usually stays in the house where they were already living with the kids, so now he got to find another place, and then you still want him to help pay for her too, not just the kid. The kid, okay, that's your responsibility, but I don't even think child support should be a thing if both parents are in the child's life, physically and financially contributing whatever they can, because you know who you married and you know how much money they got. Stop expecting people to be, like I said before, if you know if money is that important to you and he's not making the amount of money that you want him to, and you don't want to wait around for him to get his shit right, then you should have found somebody that made the amount of money that you wanted to be with to start. And maybe you didn't qualify for him or whatever. So what do you need to do to work on yourself to fit into that, if you can, or whatever? And, you know, he might have been a good man, but he ain't making 7 figures or whatever. So you can't go, you don't got a beach house or whatever that you could go visit in Puerto Rico in the summertime or something, and you don't, you know, so he's not good enough. But it's like, are you even a good woman? Like, people need to do a lot of self-reflection. That's what I think. But I do agree that that could be the reason why the the divorce rates have gone down, is because women, that was in that was incentivizing them to get divorced, is because they knew they were going to get paid and things like that. And then the dudes making a certain amount of money get alimony. Everybody doesn't get that. Regular people or regular earning people usually don't get alimony. You gotta be making over a certain amount, but the child support and things like that or whatever, he still gotta take care of himself. So you like, I don't know.
No, that's white people, by the way. White people, the people that's getting married. And then it's crazy because those white people getting married and now they're not getting divorced anymore. It goes back to show you that there's a government play. It's all about incentivizing something. So by them incentivization, by them doing that, that kind of gives people the option to decide, okay, I'm gonna do something that's gonna put some money in my pocket. It's gonna help me a little bit in this situation. Some people would rather do that. Some people would rather take that money. It's all about financial gain for some people. But again, I can't blame people. The government know what they're doing. A girl was saved after being lured into a North Philadelphia home. I don't even know about this story. That sounds crazy. Kidnapping. What are you gonna kidnap? In the North, as they call it, the North. You ain't from the North. No one else?
Situation for a family in North Philadelphia when a little girl is lured into a home. The only station there on the ground showing you the suspect's arrest. In Camden used to be the murder capital of the country police, which is why his face is he allegedly not been publicly identified. Well, today, take a look at this video. This face is blurred, wrestled down the 44-year-old suspect. He has not been publicly identified. Mother stepped in and pepper sprayed the man before she grabbed her daughter to safety. That is when they say with the family safe with her family. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. We spoke with the safe with her family. In North Philadelphia, where a little girl was allegedly lured into a home. Only NBC on the ground as the suspect was taken into custody. NBC 10's Lily Zhang is outside Philadelphia Police Headquarters. Lily, that girl is thankfully safe with her family. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. We spoke with the family of the victim, who says the victim's mother stepped in and pepper sprayed the man before she grabbed her daughter to safety. That is when they say he started shooting, which prompted that large police response. And we are waiting to see if there are any charges that we filed today. Take a look at this video.
So there's a video of the cops apprehending. It's like 8 cops grabbing him up, but at least they didn't unalive him. When they took him, they arrested him, so he's in custody. But there's a video of the girl talking about it too. The news interviewed her as well, the little girl, and she was like, I was outside with my friends, and then he told me to come in the house or something, and he locked the door, and then he was like, go upstairs, and she didn't want to go upstairs. He tried to grab her, and somehow she got outside, and but it said somebody pepper sprayed him, or she pepper sprayed the guy. Cause I think he was trying to get her to come back in the house too. Like, came outside, he was trying to get her back. But the cops came and they apprehended him. So luckily she's okay, and she said she wasn't harmed. But it's just crazy what we live in, and ain't no telling what he was trying to do, what his intentions were.
That's crazy. Philly, man.
And then somebody was on the news and they was like, it's crazy. Everybody shocked. It was her aunt, I think. And she was like, stuff like that don't even happen in this neighborhood. Like kidnapping somebody. They probably people probably be shooting, but not to lure a girl into your home and you're a grown man. But it's sad. Prayers go out to that family. I'm glad that she's okay and that she was unharmed.
That was quick. And what? Philly. A woman goes viral after her boyfriend surprised her for her birthday and she didn't like it. That's interesting.
Yeah, that is crazy. People, see, that's a contributing factor. Ungrateful. See, you can't say that they're not doing stuff, and this don't got nothing to do with it.
What if she said, I don't like surprises?
No.
That don't matter? You can't not like surprises?
If she said that, but that ain't what it was. She did.
No, but I'm saying we don't know that. There's no context to support
there's
that.
a clip. I'm looking for it.
But I'm saying prior to that, how do you know that that's not the case?
You can't add extra stuff there that didn't happen.
I'm not adding anything. I'm just saying, how do you know? And that's why I asked, what if it's a person? Like, how do you feel about that? If someone says they don't like surprises, and you said, well, that's not what it was, but how do you know that? You don't know that. And then that's what I'm saying. Like, if somebody didn't like surprises, then you just try to surprise them. Like, you kind of set yourself up. They might just try to be nice.
It wasn't a birthday party.
It was a surprise. But what I'm saying is, if somebody doesn't like surprises, right, and you surprise them, and they have a response that is not a desired response, then you kind of set yourself up for that if you already know that this person don't like that.
Yeah,
so that's you.
They don't, but
sometimes people be doing shit like that on purpose just to prove it. Like, see, I be doing stuff for her, and look how she gonna act. Some niggas do that. I know that, cause this is my thing. Whenever they say that, whenever somebody says that somebody is wrong for doing something, I always think about situations how motherfuckers have done something extra. So online a lot of times now, cause I gotta think. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3. Voila.
He got balloons. He got candles.
Yeah, be careful. You walk slow, cause it ain't a burn. Yeah, for sure.
He got like candles down the hallway when she walked into the bedroom.
You like it or not? It's cute. I think it's beautiful. It's on the bed. You got, we gonna get into the gifts in a minute. Let me just show you all the details.
We got the bed decorated with a heart, rose petals.
This is all I got for you right now.
And
Let's
then
not do this right now. It's your birthday. I don't want to ruin your birthday vibe, you know? Oh my God, listen, I'm trying my hardest not to.
I told you the girls go to and how to. This looks like cheap, like throw this shit together. This is what I mean.
But still, since I'm
a balloon pop.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Couldn't even afford to spell out happy birthday, HBB.
I always say, like, when you're eating too.
All right.
So basically, he decorated the hotel room. He had candles. She was walking down into the room. He had balloons that said HBD. There was a heart made out of rose petals on the bed and like little gifts or something. I couldn't see what they were on the bed, but she's basically complaining and she's like, "Where's the rest of the gifts? And you didn't even hire the lady that I told you. This looked cheap." And it didn't look. I guess you could say it looked cheap, but to me, I feel like that's thoughtful. And at least he did something to celebrate your birthday, and she sounds ungrateful to me in that video. She didn't mention, I don't like surprises. She just wanted more. I feel like he didn't do enough.
This reminds me of a discussion that we had before when we was talking about if a man doesn't remember your anniversary and you've been together for so long or whatever, right? And then I was like, well, you know, it'd be a lot on people's mind or whatever. So sometimes you might forget something or whatever. Now you have to make it up in some type of way. Like if you forgot to do this and you didn't plan it, cause what was they talking about on it is what it is. It is what it is. They were saying the 5 P's, which is preparation prevents poor performance. You know, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So if he had been prepared, probably in this situation, it could have possibly been different. Not saying that she wasn't ungrateful. Obviously, she is who she is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we can't. I'm just gonna say, sometimes niggas is with the bitches that they with because that's the type of bitch that they chose to be with. So you with a chick that's ungrateful and you did something like that, decorated and put it online and like, yeah, I want to show this is what I did for Bay, for da-da-da. And she embarrasses you online, like ungrateful, like you ain't even spell happy birthday out. You put HBD, like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I see like there's a lack in it. It didn't look like it was like the crib. It looked like it was like a hotel. He hooked up a hotel and shit, threw some shit on the bed, probably put rose petals in the bathtub. Niggas did like shit like that. You see it on TV or you seen somebody do it before. It's something simple you could do that's romantic, so you could just do whatever you're gonna do. And he said, yo, this is the only gifts that I got you right now. Who knows if he could have had more time to get whatever she actually wanted. She wanted this lady. He probably didn't prepare for it. He probably didn't have enough bread for it. It probably wasn't communication. These are all things that's probably not in the video, but every time you hear, let me tell you my story, and then they tell they shit, it's always some truth to both of the shit. Like, yeah, she might be an ungrateful chick, whatever, but you knew she was like that. This ain't no surprise, nigga. And then you just throw something together real quick, like put some shit on the bed. You know what I mean? I think y'all had like shot glasses, the red cup shit set up or whatever. It don't gotta be nothing expensive if your girl is the type of girl that's okay for the simple thing, the thought. If she a thought that counts type of chick, she obviously not a thought that counts type of chick. And if you celebrating an anniversary or some shit like that or whatever, you know what the expectation is for this person that you dealing with. So sometimes in that situation, if she know that you a hardworking nigga and you always doing shit or whatever, then she should have more understanding to be like, look, you know, this is what's coming up, or give them grace if this doesn't.
He could have took her out somewhere already or took her.
But listen, give him grace if this isn't a regular thing that happens all the time. That's what I said last time when we was talking about the anniversary shit. But I'm saying also, if he doesn't try to make an effort, like he tried to make an effort, it looked cheesy. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, it looked cheesy. Like looking at it, like women might be like, oh, whatever, but it was cheesy. He did that mad quick. That's why he put HBD. Like if he took mad time, he would have at least had a regular balloon, one balloon that said happy birthday on it or something like that. He probably got a deal because the letters probably cost $3 a letter or $5, you know what I mean? Something like that. So he spent $15, got HBD, got a pack of cups from the package store, you know what I mean? He did something, he put something together real quick. But again, it's thought because he like, damn, I can't not do nothing because I know how she get. You know what I mean? And he got what he got. And then you gonna put it on live? Nigga, I would not have posted that video, bro. I would not have posted that video. He knew.
Or it could have been a skit.
He knew. It could have been a skit or he knew. Because, like, nigga, this is a situation that you're repeating with this person. So you already know.
It could be the first time. For
if it's the first time, and her reaction like that, that's crazy for a first time. She should have been like, oh my God, you remembered? No, nigga, she act like, damn, I told you who I wanted. Like they had a discussion or something, and it wasn't that. You know what I mean? So you could have said, it's just like them kids that be ungrateful. When you get a kid a fucking Power Wheel shit and you get them a car that they didn't like, it's a Power Wheel. Who gives a fuck? But they wanted this type of shit and you got them this type of shit.
That's where
and they be like, oh, it's the red one or whatever. But then like if your kid, but I'm also say this. Cause a kid don't get no defense because they're a kid. They don't, you know what I mean, whatever. They get what they get and they don't get upset. That's how people look at it. But I look at it like this. If you playing Santa Claus and your kid asks for a particular fucking thing, they want well, you ain't see the Christmas Story, but they want that, for the people that did see, they want that rifle. You know what I mean? They want the Lone Ranger rifle or whatever, you know what I mean? That'll shoot, oh, mom said it'll shoot your eye out. And you get them that, right? For Christmas, because that's all they ever wanted. They don't give a fuck about the socks and all that shit. They're not gonna be, you was a kid once. They're not gonna be just grateful with getting the shit that they didn't really want to get, but they're gonna act like humble, you know what I mean? So they could at least get something.
What I'm saying, even if you didn't like what he
it's
did,
just it's nice to be like, oh, thank you. You know what I mean? It's nice to be like that. Nothing. But you know what I do like though? Like I like people to be honest. Because if I get somebody something, right? If I get my kid a sweater, and I value my child's opinion, and I say, what kind of sweater do you want? And they say they want this sweater, and I'm like, they ran out of this, so I got you this one. And then my kid is like, oh, thanks, Dad. And I look at their face, and I'm like, you don't really like it, do you? No, I'm like, well, look, this is what I could do. We could wait a little bit, and then I can get you the one that you wanted. But they didn't have this one, so we probably have to wait until the other one in stock. But that's reasonable, right? But then it's the same thing, because it seems like they don't appreciate it. But then there's a different response, right?
That's what I'm
Adults, if an adult is being truthful with you, they don't care about your feelings sometimes. If you're in a relationship with them, and they should, because you're in a relationship with them, so they should care about how you feel about it. But a lot of times, sometimes people being transparent, it could be a bold transparency where a person is just like, I don't like it. Like you make some food for somebody and you just want to impress them, and you make the food and they tell you, yo, this food is trash. I like the fact that they told me that this shit is trash. Me personally, different. No, it's not, because I'm going out of my way. We're conflating it with different elements, but I'm talking about appreciation. So overall, just like I was talking about a kid, these were adults, right? So I'm talking about appreciation. So if you appreciate something, it doesn't matter. It is the thought that counts if you actually appreciate something to any capacity. But I also like transparency. Now, if we're private and we're not sharing everything on the internet like people do nowadays in 2025, then it wouldn't have been an issue, because she was telling me, yo, I didn't really like it, but I'm gonna make the best out of it, whatever. You chose to put me on live and put me on blast, and now you look stupid. You know what I mean? Because you already knew what time it was. Like, you know I asked for this person. You know I'm gonna be mad, because if I don't get what I want, I'm gonna be mad. You've dealt with this before. Whether we went to a restaurant, whether we went to a particular place, whether I wanted to do something and we didn't do it, and my expectation was heightened and then it was lowered because I got something lesser. You already knew this. This is not nothing new. But you wanted to showcase it to show how ungrateful it is. They probably gonna break up because he put her on blast. And maybe that's what they get. Maybe they need to break up if that's what it is. Like, there needs to be a way where, and this is what I'm saying before about society is just too fucking sensitive. Like, people should be able to say whatever the fuck they want and whatever. And especially if you in a relationship, or especially if it's family, or you know who I am, accept it or don't, but don't be mad because I told you the truth. If you ask me, then I tell you the truth, you can't be mad. You know what I mean? And especially if, you know, when them kids, I be mad when them kids get a Beamer and they be like, well, I didn't really want a Beamer. Like, I wanted a Lexus or some shit like that. Like, motherfucker, what? You know what I mean? You look at that, that's the same type of situation, right? You look at it like that, like, but is comparison a kid getting a Beamer, buying a child a car, that don't have shit versus celebrating an engagement where somebody actually had a conversation with you and told you what their expectation was, and that wasn't what they received, and that was a discussion. That's a different type of surprise. He surprised her with something that she really didn't ask for.
Yeah, so can I go?
Go ahead.
So, yeah, he surprised her. Well, it was her birthday, not engagement. But,
Engagement meaning what?
It's the thought that counts, like I said, and she was ungrateful. And like you said, you could have that conversation with your child and look at them and be like, you don't like it, and they tell you like, yeah, you should be honest. And in terms of cooking, like, yeah, you should be honest if you don't like the food, so because that could help them get better if they're cooking or whatever. But I'm just saying the way she went about it, like you could have like maybe, and you just like he know who she is. If you're assuming that we don't know how long they've been together. She know who he is. Maybe you know how much money he make, and he couldn't afford to do this lavish thing that you wanted to do. So he did the best that he could. But you know the man that you're with, and maybe you talked about it, you discussed it, like I want this lady, da 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 da. And when he found out the prices, he was like, I can't afford that or whatever. So I'm still gonna do something for her, but I'm gonna do what I can. He could have taken her out to eat as well, had a nice dinner prior to that, or threw a party for her. We don't know what happened before that. This is assuming I'm assuming at nighttime. Now they having a nightcap and he set the room up, but we don't know what happened throughout the day if that was the only thing. And I just think some people are just rude. And yeah, you should be honest, but if you care about somebody, you shouldn't be talking to them like that. Because some people, he could have not got you nothing. So if you care about him, the fact that he's willing to spend your birthday with him with you is enough, and he did something for you. Like you could say maybe, okay, like I said, maybe he didn't have enough to do everything that she wanted, but she could have been like, oh, maybe next year we could plan for it because I want to go to Dubai or something for my birthday, and I want to share it with you. Maybe like, so I'm letting you know now, and we don't know how, and we don't know if he asked her what she wanted, because if you ask someone what they wanted, that's correct, because you asked them, but you should have enough to do whatever you think, if you asking them. But if some people will just tell you, because that's her man, she'll just tell you, my birthday's coming up and this is what I want, and I want this, this, and that, and I want the gold dress with the red bottoms and or that or whatever. Like, she might just tell you that on her own or whatever. So it depends, and we don't have enough context to really say that, but regardless, it's still ungrateful. She don't got no manners. And that's why I said this starts out young, because if you have that, you should create an environment with your kid. I do believe honesty is important, that they will feel comfortable to come to you when they feel away, or like you said, you could look at them and tell, and then maybe you could put your pennies together if you couldn't afford the sweater that you want in the example that you use, and yeah, I'll get it later on or something like that. But you should teach them to not be ungrateful, because some people don't have nothing. Some people don't have a roof over their head. Fuck a birthday, they don't got no food to eat. They don't know where they're gonna sleep at. Like, so it's like, you gotta be humble, like, and respect the people that you care, not just the people that you care about, anybody, unless they're disrespecting you. Like, as a person, they deserve that, and that's the man that you're in a relationship with. So he don't deserve to be treated like that if he's trying to do something. That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, you could tell him, but that's if you don't care about his feelings, then that's messed up, because he cares about yours. It appears he's trying to do something.
6 body found in Houston over past 2 weeks.
Yeah, in the bayou, they've been finding bodies all month. It's crazy. Like, since the beginning of the month, I'm trying to find the video, because I got a clip of it. They would talk about that on Clubhouse too. There's speculation that there's a serial killer, but the cops are not accepting that. They're not stating that, but people think because It's crazy they keep finding these bodies in the bayou.
Are there similarities in the way that they died? Because I mean, if there's
They
connections,
found in the they were found in the bayou. That's
that's one. But like, how were they? You know, because if one drowned, if one was cut, if one was shot, you know what I mean. Even though they were found in there, it could be mafia or something like that, organized crime related.
It said 13 bodies. It's actually 13 bodies that were found in Houston bayous this year, with 4 of those recovered this week. 4 bodies was found this week. The latest person found was college student Jade McKissick. He was found deceased on September 15th. She was last seen on September 11th. Police say McKissick was visiting bars with friends, then was last seen leaving a nearby gas station by herself, and there's no signs of foul play.
See, no signs of foul play. So how she just end up in? So somebody gave her something. But there's no signs of foul play. Somebody gave her something. And her toe.
Bars, and then left by herself, and also left her cell phone. From there, she walks to this gas station. The court showed us video of her going inside and getting a slushie. She walks out these doors and walks into the parking lot. And this picture from surveillance shows Jade circled in green in the far right corner of your screen. It's the last time she was seen, according to police. It shows her walking towards Brays Bayou. To give you some perspective, the gas station is about 100 yards away from Brays Bayou. I want to actually walk and see how long it takes me to get there. That video was sped up, but it took me about 27 seconds to walk from the front entrance to the intersection of McGregor Way and Scott Street. This camera right here at the end of the gas station shows Jade walking towards the left of the bayou, and then she goes out of frame. Sadly, 4 days later, Jade's body was found in the bayou about 2.5 miles from the gas station. Bars, and then left.
Well, rest in peace to her. My prayers go out. I'm tired of saying this because it's just a shame. Did you just hear that? 13 bodies were found altogether, and they found 4 just this week. Well, the week of the 15th, I guess.
I mean, it's been a lot of, like, not even just in Houston, not to, like, you know, dismiss Houston because my heart goes out to them, but all over the U.S. has been shit going on. Like they have a copycat killer of Charlie Kirk that happened, and I think that they're still looking for that individual. And then there was a school shooting that recently happened. There was a church that just got shot up. That was something else that came. Like, yo, like it's a lot of dangerous stuff going on right now. Matter of fact, a Michigan mom says her 11-year-old son was expelled after dismantling a classmate's loaded gun at school. The kid was about to shoot in school. 11 years old, bro.
Yeah, so he was able to disarm him, and he got expelled.
Like, he a damn hero and got expelled. That's crazy.
And what happened to the classmate? Because they talk about what happened to the boy that saved everybody.
I hope he got kicked out.
He should have been the one that got expelled, not the student that saved everyone.
They gotta go to court. They
don't know what intention
he had
with that gun, what he was gonna do. Like, maybe he just brought it there to show it around, or he could have been there to shoot.
I mean, I've known that to happen. I know that there were some things that.
So he could have potentially saved everyone, or saved some people from getting shot, and he got expelled. That's crazy. Yeah. He disarmed him. He a soldier. He disarmed him without the gun going off. Like,
no, he disarmed the gun. He dismantled the gun. He took the gun apart. He took the gun apart. It was loaded and he took it apart.
But he had to take it from him first.
Maybe he was showing it to him and he did it. I mean, it didn't really go into detail of like what actually happened with it.
He did take it apart,
Mhm.
but he took it from him first.
He
didn't
took it
take
from him,
apart.
or he gave it to him.
Let me find the video. You watched the video, or you just?
I'm asking. But either way, this kid shouldn't have got expelled. I mean, that's crazy. And yeah, that is a good question. What happened to the other kid? Because all they talking about is this kid. And he
Yeah,
get a lot of
that should be
airtime.
the
This kid would be on Ellen if Ellen ain't slip her career.
Yeah, an 11-year-old Michigan boy was expelled from school for a year after he took a gun away from a classmate, disarmed and disassembled it, according to his mother. He's now enrolled in a non-accredited online program as he tries to keep up.
So this nigga fucking who the fuck, fucking Jackie Chan and shit, Rush Hour and shit. What the fuck? Some crazy shit.
And speaking
Can't
of Charlie
believe-
Kirk, you said you talked about they have a copycat. Candace is alleging that that person that they arrested, all of it is a lie. He didn't do it. The father never took, like, all of that is a cover up. That's not really the person who did it. Candace.
Well, she's a conspiracy theorist. Who knows? She might be right. She be doing mad work to find that shit out. She like Mulder.
Yeah, because she was like, he wasn't even at the event that Charlie Kirk was speaking at, so he wasn't even there. So how could he have been the one shot? No, that's what she's alleging. There it is.
Can you smell that?
This information has not been
I've seen a
verified
video
or
of her.
confirmed, and
She
I am
tells
simply reporting on what Candace has said. Please keep in mind that this should not be taken as fact without further evidence or confirmation. Candace shared a few posts on her Instagram story today. She says that she wants to share this news immediately because if she doesn't, something bad might happen, and she is unable to reveal her source. There have been media reports claiming that Charlie Kirk's alleged killer, Tyler Robinson, is suicidal. She says that this entire narrative is fictional. Candace also claims that Tyler's father turning him in after a confession is also fictional, and insists that Tyler has maintained his innocence and that he has never even stepped foot on the UVU campus,
And of
which
course,
is
she
where
can't
Charlie Kirk
reveal
was
her
shot.
source.
Candace says that
She
Tyler
says there's no
clearly
video
knows that it
evidence
was
of
not
him.
him who shot Charlie Kirk. She says the federal government is lying about absolutely everything, other than the fact that it was Tyler's weapon that was used. She stresses again that he has never been to the UVU campus, although she believes that he was around the campus on that day. Candace promises to share more information later, but she just wanted to get this out today. In another Instagram story, she shared a video saying that on Monday she will be posting more information that she knows. Again, keep in mind that this information is not confirmed, but let me know your thoughts down below and follow me for
I mean, if there is some BS, because she says she's not gonna let it go. I mean, hell, I think what's it? I think Jimmy Kimmel would be the first person to try to find that shit out before she do.
That's messed up that he got fired. I still can't believe that he really fired him just because he commented on Trump's state of mind. And
Well, nah, he didn't get fired. He's back.
They let him come back.
Yeah,
First they was
he made a little speech.
suspended indefinitely.
He said something about the Epstein files. He was like, let the Epstein files. They'll probably have another smoke screen to let the Epstein files out. Like, yeah, freedom of speech, man. Like, that works in all areas. But it'd be funny how like it's freedom of speech, but like I mean, I want people to understand. I'm an advocate for freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. I don't care what you say, right? Like I personally don't care what you say if you're not saying it to me, right? But I care about my culture. So if you say something, something negative about my culture, I take that personally, right? But you can say whatever you want. I can't do anything to you for you saying whatever you say. Now here's the thing. If you come into my personal space and you say something to me that I don't approve of, there's consequences. I don't care about, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a law-abiding citizen to an extent. Like, if you get in my face and I tell you to get out my face and you say something crazy to me, I might smack you, I might hit you, I might do something. Don't get too close. If you want to be disrespectful, keep your social distance. That's all. And that's it. I'm not gonna snipe you. You know what I mean? But if you close enough to me and you rub me the wrong way, or you actually touch me, then something gonna happen. But words, I mean, sticks and stones, yo. You know what I mean?
But certain stuff you would hit somebody if they said it.
But stuff that do hurt is child abuse, like Kirk Franklin.
Not funny. He was on Bad Boys Club,
Yo.
and he's
Kirk Franklin.
Kirk Franklin's son alleged that he was abused as a child by Kirk Franklin, and I think he said the mom did too. I'm trying to find the video.
Then he came out with a song called Stomp. Oh, it's hilarious because I know people like, yo, no, he did. Shit. Sometimes you gotta laugh, man. Honestly, the reason that I make jokes about stuff is because I consider myself a comedian, but I make jokes about stuff because life, you can't be so serious. You gotta look at life and just say sometimes things happen. There's things that you can't control. But not that I'm thinking like child abuse is a funny thing, because it's not. But when you talk about certain individuals, it is kind of funny to me. Like Kirk Franklin, like how many puns can you think of with him being, beating up his kid? And then it's like, he's not a kid anymore. So like when he come out and he says, he had black and blues and all this other stuff since the first grade, that just sound crazy.
Yeah, it said, I forgot what his name is, Carry On or something. I think he was on Bad Boys Club. They only had that for one season and then
he was on Bad Boys Club?
Yeah, it was only one season.
Oh, okay. Plot thickens. All right, go ahead.
But what?
No, go ahead. Just finish. I'll tell you after you're done.
There's only one season of Bad Boys Club, so it doesn't come on anymore.
That don't got nothing to do with what I'm about to say.
No, I'm not. I don't know what you're gonna say.
Right.
I'm just continuing on my story. I'm
Right.
saying the show don't come on no more, but that's how I heard about who he was. But he's saying that his parents beat him badly throughout his childhood, and he got scars on his back. There's a picture of like he still has the scars now.
Right.
So there's this woman talking about.
Kirk Franklin's son posted this picture on his Instagram with scars all over his back, okay? Looks like somebody whipped him, but it looks like, to me, these whoopings were over time, okay? Screenshot this because I'm not reading it all, but he says, these scars all over my back are not sex stories. Breaks my heart all over again when people ask, because I wish that was the case. He said, for the record, these scars are symbols. They really signs of many secrets that I keep bottled up since I was a baby. Being beat black and blue since first grade. Now listen, a lot of people are saying that they think he is lying, that the scars look fresh. Those scars don't look fresh to me. Again, Kirk Franklin, I feel like you got some experience.
So I don't know if it's true or not, but he was up there, and then they also had a falling out because I don't know, he's confused. He acts like a straight man for the most part, but he's like I don't know. He didn't really come out with it, but you could tell like he's into guys, but he probably doesn't want to admit it because
I think it was
of
on
that.
Bad Guys Club, Bad Boys Club, whatever you call it. It's just gay. I mean, community. But you done soccer?
Men up there that were
Cause
heterosexual.
the funny thing about it,
it's different than
I know
Bad
you're
Girls
gonna talk about that, but the funny thing is he's in a religious family, right? And I'm not condoning it or whatever, but it's just funny how things play out like that. Like had I known, like again, I don't know these people. I don't know anything about these people. Like I'm not really into celebrities like that, so I don't be knowing. But like the fact that you told me that he's on some show that it may be straight guys up there, right? Like you said, but predominantly it promotes homosexuality for African American men. So like when you look at it and you tell me that somebody was up there, I'm automatically, just because of the majority of the people that's on the show is probably like that, I'm automatically thinking like, damn, okay, it makes sense. So his family was just like Kiki Wyatt, not making it any better, but his family had strict beliefs, strict religious beliefs on certain things. They were Levitically idealized individuals, right? So they go by that standard. So if they have that standard of living or whatever, which is kind of crazy too, because it's like Kirk Franklin always seemed a little questionable, but whatever. But in any case, you know, the kid growing up in that lifestyle, it's not hard to believe that he probably went like that, and then now he want to get delivered. You know what I mean? I don't know, but like it's just crazy. Now he's gonna come out about his abuse, his weakness, whatever. There was another, because I've been watching debates, documentaries. There's another debate that I was watching which was talking about, it was traditional males versus progressive males, right, of society. And there was something that came up about dresses, right? Should it be okay for men to wear dresses? Like most men would be like, I mean, wear whatever you want, but like, what are you saying? Like, are you going to judge me because I'm wearing a dress? And the guy's like, I mean, I just think men shouldn't wear dresses, like the bottom line. But then they'll be like, oh, well, Young Thug wore a dress and this person wore a dress and this. That doesn't make me feel more comfortable about men wearing dresses. I get it that you're heavily influenced by society, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is that the way that we've grown traditionally is that this is unacceptable behavior for men. Men wear pants and whatever, you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter. Like nowadays, like 2025, dudes could wear lipstick, dudes could do all that. I will not teach my son to wear lipstick. I will not teach my son to wear makeup. I will not teach my son that he is a female. But that's just me. I'm not saying that nobody is anything else because they do something, and I'm not going to perpetuate that ideology that I'm just against what everybody else does, but what I do in my household and my beliefs are going to be my beliefs, just like anybody from any other religion or something like that. They might practice different beliefs. I'm not going to teach my kid certain things, but I'm going to teach them to respect everybody for their differences. And I think that's the most that's the best way to handle that, because you know nobody is perfect. Everybody's gonna be different, and now everybody can have any identifier. They can do whatever they want. So now we live in a society where that's normalized. I have to teach my child to navigate through this world, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna tell them whatever you want to be when you're 12. That's what you know what I mean. I'm not with that. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell my kid that.
But I'm not gonna be beating them for it. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably figure out another conventional way to do it. It's not gonna be punishment. It's just gonna be more like just trying to find out mentally where they are. Maybe have them go to, and that's another thing. Like it would be hard for me to have them go to a psychiatrist because I feel like they might steer them towards whatever they think is comfortable for society or something like that. And I'm like, yo, like my son is confused. He needs to get help to let him know that it's nothing wrong with liking a woman because you're a man. You feel me? Like, but
yeah, I would tell my kid not to wear makeup or dresses either if it was a boy. But just a little backstory to Bad Boys Club was the what Bad Boys Club and Bad Girls Club is about some of the people up there are artists or content creators, and they go out, they live in a house together, like they all have separate rooms, so some have roommates or whatever, and then they go out and do bookings together. They might go to the club, they might perform their songs and stuff like that, and then they be fighting. On Bad Boys Club, it was, well, that's the ratchet part of it, but the main focus is supposed to be, but it got steered away from that, because when it first started, because it was another show, and that's what it was supposed to be for, to help people get on. If they had a high social media following, to help them be a content creator or whatever, promote their music and stuff like that. But then it became more ratchet. But the one with Bad Boys Club was only one season, like I said, and most of the men up there were going by heterosexual, and they were acting, from what I seen, like they were. There were only a couple guys up there that were gay, so I don't think that particular promotes, even on the regular one, most of the women are straight or they're just ratchet, because like I said, it's steered away from the purpose of what it was supposed to be. It's to create new entertainers, or get their music out there, or if they're a content creator. But now they just be fighting so bad, like and I don't know why. Well, I feel like that's why they canceled the first one, because everybody got into it. They're men, so niggas was getting knocked out into another room or whatever, because some dudes was really be fighting, or they big as fuck or whatever. Like, so some niggas really got fucked up. I think that's why they canceled it, because like the ambulance had to be called, niggas was leaking, like it was crazy. Like and it wasn't like a woman type of beef. Some people would be there and try to fight on purpose, but some shit, it was really like, you a man and you disrespected me and I'm a man, so now it's up from there or whatever. So it was a little, I don't think it was, a lot of media does promote it, I guess, but most of the men on that season, on the Bad Boys Club or whatever, were straight. It was just like two guys up there, and then a lot of them felt uncomfortable after finding that out, even when, because Kirk Franklin's son he seemed like he's heterosexual, he was going that way or whatever, but then things started happening. It was like he liked somebody in the house, but he still wasn't really comfortable saying it. And then when they hearing it, they like, is this nigga gay? He's like, somebody asked him, because he's like, why you worried about it? They got into it, because he like, cuz nigga, and he was like, I don't care, but we living in a house together and shit, like I want you to be, because the other person there that was gay, you could tell he was gay or whatever. But most of the men, like I said, so he felt the way, like I don't want to be, I got you not in my room with me, but I still want to know if we in the house together. I feel like I had the right to know that. Like I don't want you to be secretly looking at me, because people think that just because they're gay, they automatically want every man. But I feel like that's a valid point, though. He should, like, if you living in a house with people, but then again, if he's telling you he's not, because that's what he was claiming, that he wasn't, and he's not on you, or he's not, but I guess he's like, I'm not even about to be cool with you if you can't tell me the truth, because I don't want to be friends with you not knowing what type of time you want when it comes to that. But the show ratchet regardless. I don't think people, because like I said, it started off with a positive purpose, and then now it's like that's what they're promoting more than anything, sexuality with the women, because they be up there twerking and violent, because they fight all the things. So whatever it is promoting, it got away from. They still go out and do shows. I mean, not shows, but they go to the club or whatever, and then the people that do
it's just like Jersey Shore and shit, right? Like, it's like they all live in a house and whatever. sometimes people fall out, you know what I mean? Tempers clash, whatever, I guess.
Yeah, but now it's gotten to the point where they're doing it on purpose. There's no real, you don't really dislike this person, you're just fighting just to fight. It seems, I don't even think it's scripted. I think they just be fighting because they know that that's what they want them to do, so they'll just pick a fight for nothing.
Do they get paid for an extra fight? Like, it's incentivized? Like,
some people have said that were on those shows. So
didn't Bhad Bhabie come from one of those? Wasn't she on one of those shows?
No, Bhad Bhabie she was on, what's that guy, Dr. Phil, and she was like, catch me outside, how about that? Because somebody in the audience was talking junk, and she said that to him. And he was like, who's you talking to? That bitch in the audience. I don't know. No, it was somebody in the audience, a grown woman, and she was like 14 when that happened or whatever. Then she made that song.
She's supposed to be,
like,
there was another like girl she was
21,
beefing with, right? Another girl?
MGK daughter. I forgot her name.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
But say what happened with her.
She, so she says she's done with her baby daddy after being abused over 500 times.
Yeah, I got some content for that too. Now, if you don't know, like I said, Bhad Bhabie is a Catch Me Outside girl. She went viral from being on Dr. Phil, and a woman in the audience was saying something to her, and she was like, she started arguing with her, and then she was like, catch me outside, how about that? Or whatever, like, and that's because she got mad at her, and she was, she wanted to fight. So then she made a song about it, or no, I don't even think she made the song. I think people made it into a song and were making beats and like putting the words up there. But she actually does rap now. Currently, she had an OnlyFans. The people, as soon as she turned 21, niggas was waiting for her. Not till she turned 21. As soon as she turned 18, niggas was waiting for her OnlyFans to release because she had been promoting it. So older people, not just turned 18 or whatever. They couldn't wait. They were so excited for her to turn 18 so they could see her little hoo-ha and her bumblebees or whatever. She's gotten her body done. She had a rough life. I thought she was just pretending on Dr. Phil. I feel like that's a little scripted too. They be doing extra stuff. Or the talk shows or whatever. The parts of it probably true, but they be exaggerating and they be being extra. But she has gone through a lot. She's been molested, essayed as a child. Her mom's boyfriend abused her, I think. Her mom was abused. And I think she's been essayed by different people. So she's still very young. I think she's only like 22 or I don't know. She's very young. But she dated Chief Keef, and Chief Keef was grown. She was underage when they were together at one point. She's been with a couple guys in the industry. But yeah, the guy she with now, that's a rapper too. That's why she was arguing with MGK's daughter, because I guess he cheated on her with her, and they were friends prior to that. They was cool. So they was getting into it. But I don't know if they ever met up. But this is what she said.
Everything. I swear everything that I love. I am not dealing with this man no more ever again in my life. I went through so much shit trying to love this person. I went through so much shit trying to understand this person. I went through so much shit. I have suffered so much trying to deal with this man.
And your detector ain't go off.
I
know.
It's not smoking, because I got the thing on and the pen is a pen.
I really don't even know. I don't even know what to do. I feel so stuck.
Catch him outside. How about that?
In front of me, like, he sits there and argues with me and tells me that I'm insecure.
So is verbal abuse?
No, he was beating her up. She had scars and stuff. People was calling her dumb because she kept going back. And she's been with him for a while. They got a kid together. Well, not probably like over a year. I don't know the exact amount of time. people say they sick of hearing her because she keeps
I'm literally so
going back.
confused. Like, why is this even with the love that I give this man, everything that I do for this man? Why is he?
And how old is she? 22. She's still a kid, right?
Like,
That's what I'm saying, but because
I
they were
know.
together for 3 years. So yeah, she's come out about the abuse before, or not even necessarily came out and said it at first. People seen bruises on her or whatever, and then she did eventually talk about it, but she was still with him. So, or she would break up and then get back with him. I don't know how old she is, but she's not that old. She's 22. Cause she was only like 14 or something on Dr. Phil, and then she came back. She she started making music, and then she what's it called? She started making music, and then she did the OnlyFans, but now she just be like posting content. That's what you see from her most. She did some diss track. Oh, let me play those. Well, I guess we can't play because copyright. But her and MGK daughter, I think her name is Savannah or Vanna, I don't know. But they was beefing, they was making diss tracks. But yeah, I don't know. She needs to leave him if he put beating her but she used to that. Like she was on Ari the Don and G Herbo, baby mother, and Emily's fabulous ex-girlfriend daughter, baby father too. And then he got mad kids. But Ari was his first baby mother, and she got a cooking show on YouTube, and she got her brands and stuff like that, whatever. And she be up there cooking, and she had Bhad Bhabie up there, and she was interviewing her. That's what she do, she cooked, and then she interviewed people. And then she was like, just telling her about her life and growing up and stuff that she went through, and I'm like, that's why she acted like that. Like from the start, she was on there, she was ready to fight, she like, very ratchet. And then, like I said, she's been abused, she's seen abuse, but from what she said. And I think somebody that abused her was her family member too, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, she just messed up, so that's why she would end up with somebody that's doing that to her. Like she need to walk away, because you don't want to end up dead or have to kill him. Like you got some bread, go take your kid. I mean, I don't know. Some people argue about this. I heard people argue about like just because the guy is beating you, that don't mean he's not beat the child. But I feel like in a case like that, you gotta look at it with I'm not saying just maybe see how if he is capable of doing that. Don't just automatically assume that he wouldn't do that to the kid, because sometimes he might abuse the kid too. So I'm saying she needs to leave and take the kid and make sure he's of sound mind enough to be in the child's life and do co-parenting. But she feel like she loves him, so she always getting online crying and stuff, talking about what's going on. And I don't really know. I only seen this because it kept popping up on my YouTube. Like, the videos would pop up, and I watch them like, what she got? Because I didn't know nothing about.
She shouldn't have met him outside.
No, not MGK's daughter. It's Travis that was with Kourtney Kardashian.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Her name is Alabama Barker.
Yeah.
So,
and she a rapper too, right?
Yeah, so they was doing like this record. But because MGK's daughter is still young. I said the wrong name. But yeah, I just wish they get it together and, that they stop this. I just don't like drama. Like, I'm at a point where I just want peace in my life. Like, it's enough crazy stuff going on. You don't know if you're gonna make it to tomorrow. Like, every time you turn around, all these things happening, like we just talked about or whatever. Like I said, I'm tired of saying prayers up to people and rest in peace and all this. Like, every time I turn around, like hundreds, thousands of people are dying. People going missing. Like, you gotta worry about the important shit in life and fuck all that. I mean, maybe that's important to her because, you know, she probably loves him. Because they got trauma bond. She used to that abuse, so she think it's normal. She could overlook it and look at the good parts of the relationship. But I think she needs to, and you got a kid, you don't want them to grow up and then see that and then start doing that when they get older to somebody. Because sometimes it happens like that. That's probably why she in the situation she in, why she's single. So just be careful. Just get to know people before you just get into a relationship. Try to be. But I mean, I know it's hard when you experience trauma, huh? I turned it off, yeah. But it was, I had the broiler on because we don't have a lighter. I told you, and that tray was in there. That's why it was smoking. But I turned it off and I opened it up, so it's all coming out.
The Israel foreign minister, this dude's crazy. I forgot his name. Some weird shit. Netanyahu or whatever. He demanded that a group of American state lawmakers pass laws making it illegal for Americans to choose to boycott, like, Jewish companies and shit like that. And check this shit out. He wants both Democrat and Republican. Now, that's political. I know you don't really care about look, but just think about that. He wants to pass a law to make it illegal for you to not want to, like, buy, like, Jewish products or work with Jewish companies or whatever. What do you think about that?
I think that you can't do nothing. You just gotta try to live your life. Because what you gonna do?
I want to talk about, real quick, new stuff that came out and new stuff that's coming out. And if people know about it, good. If you don't know about it, you're about to find out. So, I don't know if you know about, so Halloween coming up. So there's a horror movie coming out with a character by the name of Art the Clown. It's called Terrifier. Terrifier number 4. So look out for that. It's crazy. It's really gory.
It's just stupid.
It's a maniac. It's a maniac, yo. It's like it's something that can happen. It's something that can happen. A maniac walking around with a bag full of harmful melee objects could possibly happen. So it is possible.
Maybe it got you like a fish.
Yeah, dude's crazy. So then you got that. Marvel Zombies came out. Marvel Zombies came out. Yeah, it's a animated series that just came out. It's only 4 episodes released, but it's really, really good. Really good. The voice of some of the people from the Marvel Cinematic Universe are used in this series, and you might really enjoy it.
It's the end of the month, and as a police officer.
Another thing that came out, Devil May Cry anime series on Netflix. That was pretty good. They did like 1 whole season. It was crazy action, special effects. It was ridiculous. Check that out.
I like the video.
For real people movies, few real people movies came out. for horror, I think there's a new Conjuring coming out.
Yeah, I think it's the last one.
Yeah, and it's a few other movies that came out already that was like horror movies that was like okay. But you could probably check them out. You already seen Weapons. You know, that was decent. But movies, one movie that really stayed with me is It Follows. That's a really great horror movie. I don't think, like some movies that come out, you'd be like, but that was actually a really good horror movie that came out. So I enjoyed it.
With a shadow behind you and you get.
It's not even a shadow. So It Follows is, you never watched it?
I think I did. That's why I'm asking.
So, alright, so It Follows is like, it's a person, right? But the person, only you could see the person, right? But it's a real person. They might be naked, they might have clothes on, they might be old, or it might be like somebody that's like 7 feet tall or something. And they just following you, but they mad slow.
But you're gonna die.
Well, if it gets to you, it's gonna do something to you. It's gonna like bend your body up or something like that. Like if it get close enough to get you. So it's an entity that only you can see, and it's transferred through sexual intercourse. That's how you get the
I think I did.
the being following you.
And then
That's
start
a
deteriorating.
crazy movie. So it starts like with the girl. No, it didn't just come out, but I'm saying it's one of those. So like, I do stuff like I'll look up like 100 best movies that came out up until a certain period of time, and there's some movies may not be out this year on that list, and it might have came out last month. You know what I mean? So it'll be movies. Yeah, it'll be movies that you probably seen before or from last year or something like that. That was really good horror movie. You're not gonna see certain stuff like the Demeter, which was decent. You're not gonna see that on that list. Like you're gonna see stuff on that list that deserves to be on that list, up to like 100 movies, because they go by Rotten Tomato ratings and whatever, and how good they did in the box office, how many people came back to see it after they already seen it, stuff like that. So It Follows is on that list because It Follows is a wild movie. Like you watch it and you like, because you would think like the concept of it sounds like stupid. Like it sounds like it would be a stupid concept movie, but it's so well written and so theatrical that you get consumed by the story because you're just trying to figure out like what's gonna happen when this thing touches this girl. But in the beginning, they show somebody else going through the situation. They just see her leaving out of the house, just running. And they like running, where you going? They're like, oh, I'm all right. And then they go to the beach. And then the next scene, they on the beach and their body like flipped up, their leg is like snapped in half and hanging, dangling by one piece of skin. Like it's crazy. And then you're like, what the hell? And then the movie just starts. But it's a wild movie. It's worth watching. And every time the person that gets affected by it, they pass away, then it starts following the last person that they had intercourse with, or whatever. Or yeah, before that, because that's how they got it. They got it from the last person they had intercourse with.
Yeah, then somebody found out and they did it on purpose. They and somebody do it on purpose, like they knew that was how they get it off of them. Cause I think if you so one boy was like, yo, cause I think he didn't believe her, so he was like, yo, he gonna do it, cause nobody could see what she see. But the thing, the fucked up thing about the movie is only you could see it, but it still be grabbing shit. Like it was one point where they shot it with a gun at the pool, like, and it pierced it. And it was bleeding, and it went into the water and all this other shit. But you could see it grabbing shit. So it got the girl in the air and threw her in the water, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was wild. Smacked the kid across the
across the room, but he can't see him getting smacked. Like it's wild. Like it's crazy because like how do you protect people from something that only you can see? Move, go to the left. Keep going. It's right behind you. That's a good one. Oh yeah, Peacemaker. Peacemaker is a show on HBO Max. It's where John Cena is an anti-hero. Because an anti-hero is like a superhero vigilante who deletes the criminals instead of bringing them to justice, bringing them to jail. So he does that, and he's got this like wild looking suit. He's got a pet eagle. He's an actual comic book accurate character, which is crazy because it's a weird character that they like. Why would they make a show of it? But James Gunn is actually the director of it, and it's pretty good. It's entertaining, like, you know what I mean? Because John Cena's a wrestler, like, so he's a big dude already. So he's like having these epic fight scenes with like these weird characters or whatever. And I won't spoil it too much, but he has a door that goes into another dimension. So that's like he puts all his like devices, he has his lab and all that other stuff inside this portal that he goes into. And it's going into another world that's like he exists in this multiverse world. And he encounters his multiverse doppelganger, and they have a fight. He bests him, so he got to get rid of the body. And I like, it's morbid for me to laugh, but it's like funny because there's jokes. Like he's so dark, but he's joking the whole time about stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and the black girl from Orange is the New Black is in it. There's a lot of black girls in Orange is the New Black. The girl that named Tasty, that was her name. Tasty from Orange is the New Black. She's in it. She's one of the key characters in the show.
I don't think I ever finished that. It was too long.
Yeah, it was a decent show.
Yeah, but it kept it. I feel like it started getting. I feel like when shows be going on for too long, then it be getting repetitive, and it's like they ran out of content. So and I get uninterested. But some stuff I watch to the end. Like Tyler, like I know you probably don't watch it, but Tyler Perry got mad at different shows. Some of his shows I watch, it's about different stuff. Like or whatever. He got the Medea ones. And then he got the family of Medea or whatever, like Meet the Pains, and I don't watch that, or Meet the Browns or something. But he got Sisters, that's kind of like Girlfriend, and then he got there was other shows that I watched, like a couple other shows. The Haves and the Have-Nots, that was about a rich family and a poor family that worked for them or whatever. Basically, they were just showing their everyday life or whatever. And now he got Divorce Sisters. That's basically like Girlfriend took time, but they're or some of them going through a divorce, that's new. But his shows be dragging. It'd be like a soap opera or something, and then like some of them, like I said, I stopped watching.
Cause he knows a bag in that. He know what he doing. It's on Oprah channel too, huh?
I don't know what channel. No, it's on BET Plus.
Oh.
A lot of his show, he got the Oval. I never watched that, but that's like some. I feel like it's some scandal shit. Like, but I never watched it, so I don't know. But it's called the Oval because it's something to do with political or whatever. Or the people probably work in that field or something like that.
But they're African American people.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow. Interesting.
Yeah, I never watched that. Then he got another one. He got a bunch of different shows about different stuff. Like it's not just like but he got too many.
I mean, he's a talented dude. I mean, say what you want about him, about his orientation or whatever, but he's a talented dude, man. He's out there. Him and Jordan Peele. Like, Jordan Peele is a beast, man. 50 Cent is coming out with a damn Street Fighter movie. You heard about that?
No. He's doing a Paid in Full series too.
Paid in Full series, Street Fighter movie. Damn, 50. They can't stop this dude, yo. He just gonna do it. He gonna be a billionaire.
got the water, the liquor, you got the other shows. You probably still get paid for them, even though it don't. Well, some of them still come on because
I just had a vitamin water the other day. I have my last one. I gotta get some more.
The Power universe, like most of the shows is over. Like they had the original Power that had like 5, 6 seasons. I don't know how many. I think it was 5. Then they had Ghost, book 2. That was with Tariq.
Right.
With afterwards, and then they had.
I never finished that.
And then they had Raising Kanan, and then they got the Force. The Force ain't done yet. It's a new season, and they said they're gonna create a prequel with Tommy and Ghost too. That's coming out. They didn't give the release date yet, but it's gonna be with Tommy and Ghost growing up.
Yo, you gotta make a book, man. I'm about to get 10 ISBNs, man. I don't want them to go to waste, man. Make your book, man. And they got this joint now called, I think it's called Scribio or something like that. I forgot. Some wild name. It's like AI, but it helps you format your book. But then I also got.
It's like social media, but it's for writers, and you can like read other people's books, and they be good. And they be like regular people you write them.
For like inspiration.
You could just. Well, not for inspiration. Like you could just read them, like different, you know.
Oh, just read them just to read.
And it's regular people, but you can put your book up there, and it's social media, so you can promote it, and it helps you publish it through the app too. I forgot what it is. iWalk, I think, or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of different self-publishing ideas that I've been finding out that work out. Man. But yeah, the first step, man. Get yourself a really good formatting program and
no, it's called Wattpad. That's what it's called. Okay.
And get your ISBN. Get that shit.
Yeah, that's the cool number, the identification.
Cause you don't want to go through a service and get one through that service. Because you won't be able to use it again, so it's always good to like have it already, so then you can publish your book under many different names, like different editions of your book or whatever, on different platforms. And there's some platforms like if you wanted to be on a bigger platform but you ain't got the bread, you could start by putting your book in a smaller platform that's cheaper, and then build your shit up, and then make a different edition of your book and put it on the other platform. But that's where the formatting tool comes into play, because I use Atticus, so you could just copy your book on Atticus and change it to a different shit, you know what I mean, same exact book, and then take that copy of that book and publish that on your shit under a different ISBN. I'm figuring this shit out as I go. I'm telling y'all, I be challenging myself, man. I'm not good. I gotta, I came to a point where I was consulting with somebody, I had a meeting and everything, and they told me some crazy price. And I'm like, cause I'm so motivated to do this that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pay that. So then I'm like, I'm glad I just didn't just be so eager and did my research. I'm like, let me do my research. So I took maybe 6 hours or something out of the day, and it was like, I'm just gonna just focus on looking up all of these, watching these videos. And I found out mad information and was like, nah, I'm not gonna use them. Cause that's a hybrid publishing company. Hybrid publishing companies aren't necessarily bad, but they're not necessarily good either. And then you gotta be careful, because they'll ask you for a certain price and they'll have all these extra fees for extra stuff, and they'll pressure you to pay them a certain price where you could just do your book, self-publish your book yourself and get out of all those costs, but you still gonna have to probably pay for a literary agent. You know what I mean? If you feel you need to. I'm telling you, research is always good. Like, you just read as much as, not even read. You watching YouTube videos. You watch YouTube, watch a few videos. Those videos will give you all the information that you need to get started on making your book. And I mean, like, that's why when the people that I know that are successful be telling me people lazy because they have all the advantages in front of them, I really can't fight that. But the problem is, I know that I have to, number one, want to seek the knowledge, and I gotta know what questions to ask sometimes. Because sometimes people say too much. Like, you don't really gotta put all that. Like, you can make it very concise for the internet now, especially with prompts with AI. Like, people put like paragraphs or some shit. You only gotta put like a few words, just specific words that you need to know what they mean. Know the different meanings for different shit, because you can use it to trick an algorithm. So read the dictionary and every single definition, so you know that certain things have more than one meaning, and it can be complex. Especially if you get into a situation with the court, you want to know that there's other ways to define things. So if you know that when you're in there, you're not in a bad situation, we're like, that's not what that means, no, because you're gonna look foolish in the court. But we not lawyers. But
we done run the story. They done changed the app. Now you gotta pay for it. I mean, you don't have to, but I guess if they changed it, believe it. I had started some stories, and they were saved, and I had a couple chapters.
Yo, did we talk about that battle?
Well, it hit me, and then
yeah, that. I watched that joint.
Hitman and who was the other person?
Hitman and Murder Mook. Murder Mook won 3-0 in my opinion. Because Hitman to me, because I've been watching battle rap since the Lions Den days. People that know. But like I watch battle raps to the point where when these new battle rappers come out, I really lost interest with it because they was like kind of corny to me. And one of the people that I felt was kind of corny was Hit Me and Holla. I just felt like he was corny, but some people would disagree because some people like him. I don't like people that go so hard to perform, and sometimes the stuff that you're saying is very simple, but you have
the theatrics and the props and all that.
Right, all that extra shit. But you have a following of individuals because you've been in the game and you transition to television. So you on television, and not gonna take no shit away from him because he's battled some really great people, and the people that are really good in the battle rap world watched him. Like that shows you what it was. Like, he could beat a person that's not really that thorough because he got all the theatrics and the props and all that other stuff. But if he battle a person that's Murder Mook, he gonna get washed like he did. Like, and he had to go in his bag. He went and got paperwork on dudes, some shit that was like from back in the day. Granted, whether it's true or it's not, whatever the paperwork is, it's some shit that happened and whatever. Now he moving on with life, he doing whatever, he paid for his crime. That's how you look at it. Somebody did whatever they did, they paid for their crimes, they move on with life. That's how the laws of the land is. You can feel however you feel, but now it comes into the battle. I thought Murder Mook won because, one, he was still professional at the end of the day, the whole time. Even though he brought dirt, I mean, it's public record. It is what it is, right? But when you bring up dirt like that, you gotta be thorough with it. Like, if you brought up this, everything should have rhymed. Cadence should have been perfect. It was like you was just reading something that you had wrote down, and you had some information that you probably got offline, whatever. You had a phone talking about you was talking to somebody. Like, all of it was like, it was played out, but it wasn't played out really thorough. Like, somebody that was like a lyrical genius would have ate him up with that. that scheme would have been crazy. And that's what a lot of battle rappers are saying. It's like, because it's all fair. Like, they're very disrespectful, so it don't matter. Like, if he brought that out, whether it's true, whether it's not, that's not my thing. That's not how people in the battle rap world are looking at it. Like, the way some women are probably looking at it. Like, oh, he did this, you support that? Like, I'm not, get off of that. I'm not entertaining that conversation. What I'm saying is that, no, I'm saying that's what they're saying. I'm not entertaining that conversation. What I'm saying is that in the battle rap world, or it's fair. You can bring up dirt from the past, whatever he did, because that's how you eat him up, right? You're supposed to insult this person. You're supposed to really belittle this person, make them feel small to the small. And if you do it with your craft and you don't need the theatrics and the props, that makes you more of a sharper opponent. You know, a shark to a guppy, bro. You know what I mean? And that's what I felt like. I felt like he was on the biggest stage and one of the biggest. This is a dude that really started battle rap. He was calling out Cassidy for a minute, and they still haven't battled. Cassidy done battled like 5 battle rappers and never battled Murder Mook. But what he said was he wanted a certain price. At the time we were supposed to battle Murder Mook, it was like $25,000.
Yeah, I seen that shit with Cassidy.
$25,000, $30,000, or whatever. And he would have been happy to take that, but he wasn't trying to take that. So he battled somebody else because the price was right. They put up 200 something, 200,000. Why not battle for 200,000? Feel me? Like, I'm not nobody.
In the industry, he just be doing them battles. Cassidy.
He did. He did some songs, but he didn't really, like, the songs that he didn't really catch traction like that, because the battle rappers, a lot of times these battle rappers don't transition from the battle rap world. But some of them do when they leak, they get out there. Like, it's a few of them that get out there.
To get mainstream, even though right now he ain't really, you don't hear nothing from him. But he
got his hits. Hotel.
That's what I'm
and shit.
saying. I know Murder Mook.
His joint. Murder Mook don't got no hits in the shit. But his battle rap world, and even Ines, like Ines, he was making the band, but he get his bones in the battle rap world. That's where he's recognized at his highest. But as far as like in the battle rap world, he's more noticed for battle rap. But they always poke at the making the band, the Diddy references, things like that, because he
really
went through that.
Though.
Huh?
But he could really spit though, and I think Hitman.
But that's what I'm saying.
Those
guys, that's what they do.
Yeah. I don't think Hitman is total trash. Like, he's better than a lot of these new artists that came out, but he's not the best rapper ever.
When him
and Conceited and Charlie Clips, when they do
Charlie Clips, Conceited, they different levels though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, if you compare him to most of these new artists that's out now,
artists or battle rappers?
No, I'm talking about the shit he's saying, because you said he trash.
Battle rappers, and battle rappers different. It's like wrestling. So like when they shit, but that's what we talking about, because that's the only reference that I got to him. I don't listen to his music. You listen to his music? He's a battle rapper. Because what are you talking about? I'm talking about he's trash battle rapper. What are you talking about?
So you're only talking about battle rappers.
That's all he has.
I'm saying I like rappers that's lyrical too, or whatever, outside of battle rap, because I don't be
low level. But that's what you're saying. You saying that because you're. So what you think? What you think is good?
I let you talk.
What you think is good and what I think is good is different.
All right. So can I say my opinion? We know that. So that's what I'm saying, because it's different. I don't watch battle rap, so I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Hitman, because you said it was corny. You said some of this stuff. Can I finish? I'm
agreeing. I'm gonna be able to feedback.
But I didn't say that. You can when I finish, because I let you talk.
Go ahead.
So I watched him on Wild and Out or whatever, and I know that's different, but I'm talking about the part at the end when they battle or whatever. I like the stuff that he be saying. Like, I didn't watch the battle, so if I watch it, I might be like, yeah, this shit that they said was trash, because everybody don't always don't be good every time. All of them don't always win. I watched a couple battles, but I don't watch it like that, but I could look at it and I might agree with you and be like, yeah, that shit was corny. But I've heard him say some shit that was decent, and I compared him to rappers that are in the industry, because like I said, I don't watch battle rap, so this is my in relation to the conversation. Like a lot of these rappers that are mainstream are trash. And comparing them to some of those, comparing Hitman to some of those, I think he's not that bad. He's not horrible, like, or whatever. Like, but yeah, Conceited and Charlie Clips is better. But like I said, I don't. But they're good too. But then they're also not mainstream because they're more. They're all stuck in that, and they got on TV because they're on Wild and Out, and now they got a couple songs because they signed to Nick Cannon, Incredible, or whatever. So, but they still not really. You mostly know them if you're not into the battle world or whatever from being on Wild and Out or whatever. But I was just comparing him to rappers in the industry. Like some of this music that be coming out now be garbage.
Right.
I feel like he could spit. It's about, cause battling is different. Like you're just cutting on the person mostly and you say stuff, but it is the way you put it together. Like Cassidy thorough as fuck. Like he could, but he also able to transition and make music that he was able to get hits and stuff like that. And everybody can't do that. They were talking about being able to transition on Clubhouse too because they played YF and Lucci. He got a mixtape, and he's an artist that's in the industry, not no battle rapper, but, and I don't even listen to him, but the song that they was playing, but it was like that auto-tune, that whatever, but I was listening to what he was saying. I mean, it's basic, it wasn't all that, but I liked the song, though, like, it was a feel-good vibe, like, you ride to it, or something, or whatever, and it wasn't horrible, because I don't listen to him, but I like different types of music. I like music that has lyrical content or that got punchlines and stuff like that, but I also like a record that make you turn up and make you get lit or make you want to dance. Or I also like love songs, or I also like, you could be having a message, but you're just not you're not being that creative. You're just telling a story or whatever. Like you telling your perspective about the life that you live. Like I like street music and stuff like that. That's kind of what Lucci was giving. Like he was kind of rapping, but he was talking about his life and not trusting niggas and getting his heart broken by Regine. I don't know. I guess he was talking about her or whatever. It was kind of love trap music or whatever, but it was decent because I never listened to him before. But they were saying that nigga been sounding the same since 2010. And then their argument was like, but everybody not gonna be able to transition. Like, cause Steve said that about Cassidy. He was like, that's still nigga, that rapper. He was like, Cassidy still rapping like he in whatever time, like it's 2010 or something. And I'm like, everybody don't have to evolve. Like, you might like, if some people try to change and it don't work for them. Like, they try to change their cadence and the way they flow and talk about different stuff than what they normally do, and those records don't do well. Some artists are better. It's like an actor being typecast. Some artists can only rap about certain stuff or only rap a certain way, and then some artists are more versatile and they could sing 10 different ways and talk about a whole lot of stuff. But it depends on your life experience and how creative you are and stuff like that. And some, so that don't mean they totally a bad artist. Some people may not like them, but I like to hear if you talking about something that I can relate to or I've seen before. It just like, I don't know. It just make you think, even if they not using big words or they not Lupe Fiasco or Kanye West or whoever, Nas or somebody, they could still have a message. Like King Von. King Von ain't that lyrical, but I like his music because it tells a story. It tells you about some of the stuff with some true stories. But, it tell you about his life and give you a look into him or whatever. It's like an audio book with music or something. So it's like, I like when you could just be creative and put it together. You don't gotta be doing all these metaphors and stuff like that. You could just talk regular, but put a good beat to it, and if your story is interesting, then people gonna rock with it. And there's always gonna be some people that don't, but it ain't for them. And certain shit ain't for everybody.
So,
but
back to battle rap, right? But back to battle rap, the reason that he's trash is because of the way that battle rap is. The structure is a little bit different. It's like country versus R&B and rap versus pop, you know what I mean? It's a different genre, but if I'm focused on a battle rapper versus another battle rapper, I don't give a fuck about whatever mixtapes or songs or mainstream, whatever, because that's not what I'm listening to. There's an element of that perspective that I'm just like, no. A lot of people have watched 106 in Park and been lost in the sauce. Some people have watched it and was following it, you know what I mean? Because they talk about things that are relatable to the audience most of the time. Some people freestyle. Some people rebuttal. Some people have something that's written out. Some people use themes. Some people tell a story. Some people do different things in a rap battle, right? But the way that they the way that they do in a rap battle, the structure is a little bit different than a conventional song. I don't give a fuck about whatever they do outside of the rap battle. But when you're in the rap battle and I'm saying you're trash, the reason that you're trash in the rap battle is not just because, oh, his words rhyme, he said something, oh, that was clever, it didn't have to be more than 3 syllables. That's cool. What I'm saying is that when they're saying something in a battle and it's directed at the person, a lot of times, one, facts are always hit. You know what I mean? When you're saying something because you're actually talking about that opponent. And the other thing is, you don't have to say anything that's really crazy. I mean, you got Geechee Gotti, who's a beast. He's not really that intellectual or articulate with the words they use. Even with Jadakiss, like Jadakiss maybe he'll say something, but it's not really the words that he says, it's how he does it. The cadence, that's what makes him better than him. Even if you have him just spitting, you know that he probably gonna spit better than this particular character because of the way that he puts his shit together. But in battle, the way he put this shit together, like you going hard, like, trying to get them to understand it. I don't give a fuck if you don't understand what I'm saying. If my shit is thorough, I know my shit is thorough. Whether you get it or not, you know that shit gonna be thorough. Because I wrote it specifically making sure, oh yeah, people from New York, a lot of times, because of the way that they talk, they already have a certain type of enunciation. They speak a little bit more clear than people from the South. So that might be a little bit different. But there's some people in the South that are beasts. T.I., Ludacris. Some of them are nasty, and those are the names that come up the top of my head first. But there's still some artists from the South that can rap when we talk about regular mainstream rappers. But talking about battling, nobody gives a fuck about where you're from. They care about what you're saying in relation to this battle and how you're able to be aggressive. They like to hear gun bars. They like to hear how you put your shit together, but they like your shit to be convincing without all the theatrical shit. That shit throws me off with the nigga. That's why I say he's trash, because it's too much of that shit. Like, let your words speak for themselves. Like Charlie Clips, like, yeah, he do it, but he don't gotta do all the extra shit, but he do it too. But he knows how to really freestyle. Like, he could freestyle his whole battle, which is dope. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Hitman, he could rebuttal a little bit, but he not a big, thorough freestyler, like, to make some crazy shit and you be like, oh, that's crazy. He makes some shit like, all right, that was straight. You know what I mean? Sometimes, because the way he say his words, sometimes that's corny. Like, I don't like the St. Louis, the way they talk. Like, the way they say shit, like, sometimes, because
over there.
Yeah, like sometimes that make it corny. So it's like, if you talk like that already, you gotta be able to really finesse that shit. And that's kind of like a cheat code. Like, I say words a certain way, so my rap could be thorough, mad lyrical. Like, fuck all that shit. It don't gotta be that. No, it gotta be that lyrical. When you going against a nigga that's that lyrical, you can't come with the theatrics and say some shit and like, yeah, what y'all think about that? No, nigga, you need bells and whistles and everything, nigga. You need more than that. You can't come half-ass with your lyrical ability. I don't give a fuck if it's a word that got less than 2 syllables. At least make that shit be some shit that really make it compelling where niggas, this is where I agree with that. Yeah, sometimes you gotta scratch your head like, oh yeah, I like how that came together. Jordan Lucas never disappoint. You know what I mean? Certain artists out here, when they freestyle or whatever they doing, it makes you think about it. It's like, damn, that's pretty crazy. Check out what I think it was racist or something like that. I'm a racist. I think that was the song. Jordan Lucas. Check that video out, nigga. This is what I'm saying. It's a difference. When we talk about lyricism, it's not just about, oh, like what he said. Just because they don't understand you, that don't mean you can rap. I remember that. But sometimes if you don't understand me, that just means you dumb.
Yeah, and then people
You know what I
will be
mean?
like it's corny because they don't understand.
Yeah, like some people could say some shit that's
That shit
dope.
went over your
Cause
head.
cause Cassidy used to do that. Fabulous say some shit that make you think about it. Like
But
come
he's
on, like,
another one that I don't think he's a decent rapper, but it's the storytelling and the way he put it together that make him a better artist, more opposed than what he said. Because I like, you know, I like the music.
It's lyrical though.
It's like
It's lyrical.
Ryan,
It's undeniable. It's undeniable lyricism. The way you can't spell
But
believe
I'm
without a
saying-
lie in the middle. That's
yeah.
lyricism.
He does
you don't
have-
have to have a lot of what do you call it? A lot of syllables, because that's how everybody automatically thinks.
No,
If you could rap some shit with onomatopoeia, or rap some shit with imagination, or rap some shit with fucking the word orange or some shit like that, and make mad fucking shit like that makes you a thorough rapper. Not necessarily.
Yeah,
But if you could do that and you could make a whole story that surrounds with that and bring it all together in some shit, that's clever. That takes time. Sometimes, I mean, like,
no, but
if
here's
it's like
the
a
thing,
freestyle, some
people
shit
will
like
say
that,
it's
then
corny
that's
because you
dope. But
don't
that's not really.
have a lot. So it's about your artistry, like I said, how you put it together. You could say a lot of words or have a lot of syllables, and it could still be, and it could be thorough, or it could be corny because you ain't on beat or something. The way you saying it don't sound right or whatever. So you could go either way. But if you're not always got a punchline every time. It's the way, the cadence, the way you say it that make it come together and could help with making it a good song as well. But I used to watch Freestyle Friday. I like, and we're too young, but I'm gonna say this one. It was this fat guy up there, but I don't remember his name. But he was good. He was like, with me, keep it gangsta, it means a lot. See, I'm a hustler. Used to pushing things to rock. Got a gun named Michael Jackson when things get hot. I let her show you the reason it's the king of pop. Girl, stop. This title is not for sharing. You ain't half the girl that I am, so stop comparing. I'm a pimp. Your girlfriend let me caress it. You think I'm big as the cunt, and she swallowed my nutty professor chump. Like, I don't remember that guy's name, but I didn't watch regular battles, or I watched a few of them, but when they have Freestyle Friday, I used to love that because some of them people, they'll be going in, and then like Blind Fury, like I don't remember.
Loaded
exactly
Lux was
what
up there.
Oh, he was. See, I don't. I
Loaded
probably
Lux is
seen
from
it because I
Loaded
did
Lux,
watch,
and he was undefeated.
I did.
But of course, right? He's a fucking
Yeah. I think there were other people up there that were.
Jen was up there, but
yeah,
Jen had a terrible battle rap career.
And there was another guy, or maybe it's Jen. He was with Rough Riders, right? He ended up being the Rough Riders. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't be like watching the battles because it be going on for too long. I feel like it'd be forever.
It'd be 3 rounds. Each round they get about. Sometimes if it's like a really big battle, they'll give them 3 minutes, but usually they give them a little bit of time. But the clips be like a 30-minute clip if you watching just one battle.
That's why. That's too long.
I mean, if you, like I
So
said,
for
like
me,
it, like
you
that's what I'm
watch it,
saying.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
if you
that's
look, because
why
I watched a
I
couple of them today. But if you like lyricism and you really like hearing somebody like, damn, because I rap and I want to hear people say things that I've never thought to say, because you'll never hear me say the same shit in a different rap. Like I use different words. I'm very creative like that. So like when I hear somebody say something that I've never thought to say, it's like I wish I said it first. That's the type of artist that I am, because I'm a lyricist. You know what I mean? I consider myself to be a lyricist. So I like to hear it. I love to hear somebody can play with words and somebody can do alliteration, like alliteration using the same first letter of the word several times. Like that shit is very difficult. That's hard. Like Peter Piper picked a can of pickled peppers. Like
it's hard to rap like that and do that
And make it make sense.
on purpose and make it make sense, right? Like that.
You can say anything.
You can say
but
anything.
The hard part is
making it go together, right? That's a challenge. I got some shit like that too.
Like this is a little different, but alphabetical order. Like.
Oh, Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
But guys, we gotta let you go. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Get Lifted. We appreciate you. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. And we're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so please subscribe, share it. We're trying to get monetized, so
Yes, please.
support it, tell people about us, and you can comment down below if you have topics that you'd like us to discuss, or if you have questions while we're live. We read the chat, so yeah. But see you later. I'm a heifer.
I'm Smiley Jizzle, man. We out, man. We appreciate y'all taking this journey with us.
Now, are you saying bye too?